They say the worst phone call a parent can get comes from the police. I always thought that was just a saying until it became my reality. The voice on the other end was calm, almost attached, like they hadn't just detonated my entire world. "Sir, your son has been arrested." For a few seconds, I couldn't breathe. My brain tried to process it like some cruel joke. My son, Adam, barely 18, the quiet kid who couldn't even raise his voice without apologizing. Arrested. I asked what the charges were, and the answer hit harder than any punch I'd ever taken. Assault. The officer gave me the alleged victim's name, and my heart froze. His stepfather. The same man my ex-wife married 2 years after our split. The man I'd never trusted. They said Adam attacked him after an argument. Bruises, scratches, a split lip. The cops said it looked convincing. He'd filed a report that same night. By the time I got to the station, my hands were shaking. Not because I thought Adam was guilty, but because I knew exactly what kind of man that stepdad was. Charming in public, manipulative behind closed doors. He'd gaslight anyone to save himself. And now, he was targeting my boy. I stepped inside, wearing my uniform, the same one I'd worn for 20 years on the force. Every eye in the precinct turned toward me. I wasn't just a father walking in. I was one of them. And I was about to learn how far loyalty stretches when the accused is your own child. Adam sat behind the glass, holding himself tight. His eyes were red, his posture small but defiant. The kind of look you give when you're accused of something you didn't do, and nobody wants to believe you. The officer on duty, Rodriguez, nodded at me. He hasn't said much. Lawyer's on the way. I nodded back, throat tight. When I finally walked in, Adam looked up. For a moment, the tough exterior cracked, and he whispered, "Dad, he lied." I didn't need convincing. I'd seen that man twist stories before, turn victims into aggressors with words alone. Still, the file on the table didn't care about history. Photos, statements, timestamps, all painted my son as a monster. "I swear he started it," Adam said. He called Mom names, said she wished I was never born. I pushed him off me, and he hit himself on the counter. Then he called the cops. I believed him, every word. But belief doesn't hold up in court. Evidence does. So I assumed the role I'd spent my career perfecting. Detached, composed, methodical. I reviewed the case file like any other. Inside, though, rage boiled like acid. Then I noticed something. The call log didn't match the report. A 5-minute gap. Not much, but enough for someone to stage a scene. I stood up, Massacom firmly in place. "Rodriguez," I said, "who processed the photos?" He looked confused. Stepdad provided them himself. Said he wanted to help speed things up. That was it. The hole I needed. The lie unraveling. I looked back at my son. "Hang tight, kid," I whispered. "If he set you up, I'll prove it." I walked out not just as a father, but as a cop with a mission. Every instinct screamed to storm the stepdad's house and drag the truth out of him. But experience taught me better. Truth needed to be built, not forced. I pulled the street camera footage near their home. The stepdad claimed Adam attacked him inside around 8:45 p.m., then called 911 immediately. But the footage told a different story. He didn't leave the house until 8:50. 5 minutes later, he came back holding his cheek, looking straight at the camera as if performing for it. Every bruise, every mark, calculated. Staged. I took the file to the supervising detective, keeping my tone steady. "Sir, there's a discrepancy in the timeline. I think the report might be compromised." He frowned. "You're suggesting the complainant fabricated evidence?" "I'm suggesting," I said evenly, "we double-check before we ruin an innocent kid's life." By morning, the truth was undeniable. Forensic analysis matched the bruising pattern. It didn't align with Adam's height or reach. The injuries were self-inflicted. The stepdad confessed when confronted with the footage. When Adam was released, he didn't say a word at first. He just stood there, staring at me, trying to process that it was over. Then quietly he said, "You believe me." I smiled, though it hurt as always. Driving home, I realized something my years on the force had never taught me. Justice feels different when it's your own blood on the line. You don't just fight for truth. You fight for their chance to breathe again. Sometimes, wearing the uniform isn't about serving the system. It's about protecting what the system forgets.